Hey mamas, I'm Brooke Miller, registered dietitian, certified lactation counselor, and a mama who has helped hundreds of moms feel like themselves again after baby, boost their energy, mood, metabolism, and even milk supply. Inside of the Postpartum Shift podcast, you'll learn how to take care of your health so that you can show up best for the ones you care about most. Each week, we'll tackle topics like nutrition, exercise, breastfeeding, mental health, and so much more. Plus, you'll get access to guest experts who will share ways to make your pregnancy and postpartum experience easier. Whether you're approaching the postpartum period or you're right in the thick of it, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's topic. Have you ever been scrolling through Instagram and all of a sudden you feel like you're failing at motherhood or at your postpartum fitness goals? Maybe you're just on there trying to find funny memes like me. That is why I have social media, I swear. But then all of a sudden you're knee deep seeing all of the things that moms are doing right and better than you, and beautiful homes and smiling babies and moms who bounce back. And all of a sudden you're like, cool, I haven't showered in 2 days. I haven't washed my hair in so long. I have baby spit up on me. I'm in sweatpants, and you just don't feel like you're doing a good enough job. If that is you, we are going to be covering all things social media and comparison trap in your postpartum journey, and some things that you can put into place so that you don't get stuck in this scrolling, cycle where all of a sudden we don't feel good enough. And then this can start to impact a lot of different things in our life. And so social media, we have to remember, is a highlight reel. Most of us are not going on social media and sharing the worst things about our life and, relationships, marriage, parenting, all the things. Sometimes, you might see people sharing some of the hard stuff, but for the most part, most of us are posting, pictures of our families or what we did for Christmas or, what our child's birthday party looked like all these different highlights. And so it can be really easy to fall into this comparison trap or self-doubt. So just remember that what we see on social media is not always real. And sometimes people are posing. Maybe, the mom who you're seeing on social media who fit back in her pre-pregnancy clothes, like maybe she took 20 different pictures at all these different angles and different lighting to make, this one shot look a certain way. We don't know what somebody is really going through. We don't know if somebody is using Photoshop. We don't know what the whole story is. I actually had a client recently. We were chatting and she said how she was following a mom who was postpartum, and she's like, yeah, I've been kind of triggered. I saw that she fit back into her pre-pregnancy clothes and kind of lost the baby weight quickly. And I just started to feel a little jealous. And, we talked through it, and we talked about how her journey is so different than what you're experiencing. And I actually happen to know this other mom who she was referring to. And I was telling my client, I know that this other mom has gone through a lot of post-traumatic stress. She had a traumatic birth, like me, a child with special needs and lots of things going on. And I was like, I too, with my very first postpartum experience, I lost the baby weight really quickly without trying. And, my son was going through open heart surgery, and a lot of it was due to stress, and it wasn't even super intentional weight loss. And so we also have to remember that sometimes we're losing weight because of stress or a medical diagnosis that we have, or, something else bigger is going on in our life. And so we never want to get caught up in this comparison game, because all of our journeys look different. Even when I was looking at my first postpartum experience and how I lost the baby weight quicker with that one, well, my son was born at 4 pounds. I gave birth early. So of course I gained more weight with my second and third pregnancies because I carried them full term, and they were 7-pound babies, not a 4-pound baby. And so, it's not even fair to myself to look at my first postpartum experience and judge that. And so many of us just get kind of caught up in seeing what other moms are doing, seeing what other moms' houses are looking like. And I find myself in the same comparison trap. I have to make social media content for a living. That is how I, find my clients and reach my students. And I even find myself when I'm about to film something, sometimes I look around and I'm like, oh my gosh, my kids are in the background screaming. I need to move to the other room so that people can actually hear what I'm saying on video, or, oh, like there's the load of laundry right behind me. I'm just going to slide that out of the camera and move it out. Even I catch myself doing those types of things. And so just that reminder that social media is a highlight reel. We don't know necessarily what is going on in somebody else's life. And in this stage of life, it's really important to protect our own mental health postpartum. And so something that we can start doing is really setting boundaries with social media. So there was a long period in my life where I had to unfollow like all fitness influencers, all dietitians. Like for a long time, I was like, I'm kind of getting triggered by, and feeling obsessive about certain numbers and reaching goals. And, so you want to make sure that your feed is curated with things and accounts that make you feel good and make you, it's okay to still like find accounts that make you feel motivated in some sort of way to like reaching your goals, or an account that makes you laugh. But we never want to be just following all people where all of a sudden we just scrolled for 20 minutes and now we feel worse about ourselves. And so there was even some celebrities for a while that I just muted or unfollowed. And I was like, they have like this beautiful house and this nanny and a perfect body and a personal chef. And it was like, why am I following this person? Like, I can't relate to this at all. And it's not making me feel good. And so it's okay to mute, to unfollow accounts, and you may find in a different season of life that it's not triggering for you and you can start following those people. So right now, my algorithm is actually very different than it was my last postpartum experience. So my algorithm this time is literally funny parenting memes. It is like 9 out of 10 posts that I see are like funny memes. And it's because that is the type of content that I want to consume on social media. I want to go on social media and laugh and just have a mental break. And so when you start like liking content that makes you feel good or gives you whatever you're looking for on social media, then you're going to see more of that. I also obviously see like, I have other friends in the parenting space in different niches, and I do follow their accounts and I do like following them. I like learning about, tips to help my toddler, be less picky at the table, and tips on helping my toddler speak more words. So I do, have some friends that have accounts that are in the parenting space, friends that like do sleep training and different types of sleep accounts. So I also have a lot of accounts that I see and follow in different parenting spaces, but rather than following like 30 different sleep accounts, I follow like 2 or 3. And then, I have one like speech therapy account that I follow and one picky eating account that I follow, right? And so rather than feeling like, I'm seeing all of this advice from so many different people about how I need to be parenting and what I need to be doing and what I should be looking like, I'm just trying to minimize like who are the people that I connect with, and those are the people I want to follow. Even this postpartum experience, I'm actually, my feed is also now a lot of recipes because I'm in this space now where normally I don't actually like being in the kitchen, but lately I've had more of a sense of like, I want to get in the kitchen and experience new things and like test some recipes. And that's not normally something I would do. So actually my algorithm right now is a lot of different recipes. And my husband's even like, oh, I see you in the kitchen more experimenting with new things. And I'm like, yeah, this is fun. I saw this, I saw this recipe on Instagram and I'm trying it. And if it's good, then I'll share it with my members, and share the blog post that I found it on. And so I've been finding that my algorithm right now is a lot of recipes and funny memes. And that's pretty much, the content that I want to, follow. But if you find that you're following a ton of celebrities, especially I feel like celebrities who have babies can be really triggering, or again, you're following like a lot of people that you just feel like you can't resonate or relate with, then, maybe mute those accounts or unfollow. And maybe you just want to follow, a few parenting accounts. Like I said, find a few people that you connect with so that you can still see some of that educational stuff. That's really great information, but that's not all you're seeing all day long. Because again, for a lot of us, if we go on social media and it's like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this for sleep with my kids. Oh, and I'm supposed to be doing this with my toddler. Oh, and I'm supposed to be doing this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Like it is, it can feel really overwhelming. You might leave social media and be like, oh my gosh, I'm failing as a mom, and I'm failing with my body, and I'm failing with my weight, and I'm failing with all these other things. So, just that reminder that even if the moms that you're following on social media who feel like they have it all together, you want to make sure that, you don't know their full story and you don't know what's actually going on in their life. And even though their life might look perfect or their parenting or postpartum might look perfect, it's probably not. And so just, reminding yourself of that. If you've been wanting to reach your healthiest weight and feel like yourself again postpartum without having to sacrifice your favorite foods or your milk supply, I've got a free workshop just for you. Inside of this free workshop, you'll discover how to boost energy, mood, metabolism, and even protect your milk supply. You'll learn common mistakes that moms make that actually cause exhaustion, mood swings, low milk supply, and weight loss resistance to become worse, things that moms don't even realize. And you'll learn the proven 3-step method to heal your hormones and metabolism after baby so you can go from surviving to thriving postpartum. Plus, as a free gift, you'll get my postpartum snack guide when you come hang out with us. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes to save your seat today. Spots are limited. See you there. And focusing on your own journey and your season of life, because what works for one mom may not work for you right now, or maybe at all with your family. And that's okay, because your postpartum journey is unique. This season of life is unique for you. You may find what worked for you with your last postpartum experience is not working for you this time. Like, for instance, my first postpartum experience, we never had to sleep train my baby. Like, Ashton was an amazing sleeper from day one. Now, granted, it was because he had a heart that needed to be repaired and he had a heart defect. But once he got his heart fixed and had open heart surgery, he actually still slept great. But my second son, I just expected him to be a great sleeper too. And he wasn't. And I just let that go for so long. And finally at 15 months, I hit this point where I was I need help. And so I joined a sleep membership, and within a month, it was all of a sudden we got him sleeping through the night. And so I just had to realize this postpartum experience is different, and a lack of sleep for 15 months, it was just really weighing on my husband and I. And so we looked at our different options of how we could get support, and we did do something different with my second son than we had to do with my first son, because my first son was just naturally a great sleeper. And so, and again, my third baby is a little bit different too. So she's 7 months. We haven't sleep trained or anything yet. And she has streaks where she's a great sleeper. And then she has streaks where, she's sick or teething. And of course she's not a great sleeper during those seasons. So truthfully, we're just navigating cold and flu season and teething right now. So we'll see what happens. We're also in the middle of selling our house and moving and all the things. So I'm not really ready. I'm personally just not ready to sleep train her and do any of that until we're actually moved in and she's a little bit older, just because, again, it's a lot of transition that our family is going through right now. Half of our inside of our house is not even here, half of it's in storage, or we've decluttered, and again, we're about to move and our kids are going to be sleeping in new rooms, and we just know that there's going to be a lot going on. Even with potty training, it's I would love to have both my boys potty trained. We're just going to wait. That's going to be a big focus when we move in the next month or two, but that's just not going to be a focus, for the next month. And so I might seek out some accounts potty training accounts or, stuff like that, more sleep stuff. Once we're in that stage again, then I may seek that out. But I just know that in this season of life, I have a few more months until I really want to focus on that. So every postpartum experience is so different with your healing, with your body, with your sleep, with, all of these things. So instead of comparing yourself, just celebrate what you are doing well and really decide what season of life, where do you want to focus your attention? You might say what, this month, my focus is on sleep training my baby. Or you might say this month, my focus is doing one thing a day for my mental health. And maybe that's going for a walk. Maybe that's going to bed early. Maybe that's, exercising. You might have a goal this month of getting more into strength training. You might have a goal this month of just really nourishing your body and starting with breakfast, whatever that may be. Just pick one thing and make that your focus for this season of life. And then once it becomes a habit, you can move on to the other things. So again, you can set a boundary with social media, the things that you really like consuming that make you feel good. And again, maybe that's just some funny stuff, some funny memes or whatever it is. What are some accounts that, make you laugh or make you feel good or motivate you or inspire you or teach you? Like, what are those accounts that you want to follow? And then if you're just seeing like models and celebrities, again, who have like these picture perfect quote unquote lives, and you're like, I'm literally, my feed is just, all these celebrities with perfect bodies and all these things, like maybe unfollow, maybe considering unfollowing those people, because the truth is you're doing better than you think you are. You are doing the best you can with what you have. And as moms, sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but you are still doing an amazing job, and your worth is not tied to how beautiful or how clean your house is, how fast you bounce back, how well your baby sleeps through the night. Like, your baby doesn't care about Instagram. Your baby just wants to be, taken care of by you and loved by you. And so just give yourself grace. Know that not everything is urgent and important in this season of life. Just really ask yourself, what is going to help me thrive in this season of life? Maybe it's your nutrition. Maybe it's your exercise. Maybe it's getting your baby's sleep kind of managed a little bit. Like, whatever that is for you, just focus on that right now and kind of tune out those other things, because social media can make you feel like it's not enough. And that's something you can ask yourself when you're done scrolling for set a timer for 10 minutes. And when you're done scrolling, ask like, do I feel better or worse or the same as when I started? And if the answer is I feel worse than when I started, then you need to curate your feed and you need to start consuming different things and unfollowing and muting things. If you're like, yeah, I feel the same as when I did when I started, or I feel better, then that's a great sign. But I would say a majority of moms feel worse after doom scrolling. So this is something. And then something else you can do is also setting a timer for social media. So Instagram actually has like a built-in timer. You can say, if I've been on Instagram for more than like 30 minutes a day, kick me off. I actually have an Opal. It's called Opal. It's an app on my phone, and at 10 p.m. it kicks me off. I can't do anything on any social media platform after 10 p.m. until like 8:30 a.m. And it's just because I want to focus on going to bed and sleeping. And I know if I can scroll until 11 p.m., I will sometimes. And so you can set up even those boundaries around like logging into your social media. So I think especially having something that blocks you at night, I think is really a great place to start. So Opal is the app I use. There's so many other apps out there that you can definitely use to, block social media at a certain time. Or like I said, in Instagram, you can just say like, set a timer for 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever that looks like. Or maybe it's like, I'm only going to check social media when I'm breastfeeding or when I'm pumping, or, set some barriers around like how often you're on too. Because I think it can be a very useful tool. I mean, again, I use social media for my business. I am on there every day. I have to be on there every day for work. But I also know the importance of setting boundaries around it and logging off and like being, present, and like when I'm on there, I'm working and posting and, trying to, of course, limit how much I'm consuming. And then, again, setting boundaries with how often I'm on and who I'm following and what types of accounts I'm seeing. Because sometimes you just go on and you don't feel good, and that is not what we want. So I hope that you set some boundaries and maybe even set some timers around that, especially around bedtime. If you can do that, you're going to feel so much better. And I'm cheering you on. I'll see you in the next episode. Exercise is crucial for our overall mental and physical health, especially during pregnancy and postpartum. Something that has helped me stay really consistent with strength training and yoga at home during nap time is the Expecting and Empowered workout app. I love that I can choose how many weeks pregnant or postpartum I am, and the app tells me exactly what to do. Plus, there's cardio, yoga, and strength training options for new moms and moms to be. You can go ahead and click the link in the show notes to get 7 days free and also save 15% off the annual option when you use promo code Nutrition for Mamas. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to the Postpartum Shift podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you could share this episode with a mom friend and leave a written review. This helps the podcast reach and help even more moms. Come say hi over on Instagram at Nutrition for Mamas.